1, 2, 3, 4.
What's going on, everybody? It's Dot Bets. We're back for season 2. We got episode 1 coming at you guys here on the Dot podcast. This will also be streamed on YouTube as well. If you have any other options to watch us, we'll be on Spotify, and then we'll have the video recording on YouTube throughout the week. And as always, I am here with my main man at Sidekick Picks. How are we feeling tonight, bud?
Doing good. Excited to finally dive into some football. We were pretty successful last season, so hopefully we continue that trend.
Yeah, we had a successful preseason that led into the live shows. So what to expect from us leading up to the season? We are going to be coming at you guys. We'll record Monday night, and then we will get them out to you on Tuesday. And those will be over division winners and team props, futures, ADP shifts. And then throughout those 8 episodes, which will be, we got 8 weeks up until the season, we're going to do a couple, maybe 2 to 4 live best ball drafts on YouTube and Twitch. So if you're into that, we will. I'll draft the team one time. Sidekick will draft the team one time, and we'll go through it. And then, obviously, through the live shows through the season, we'll update you guys how those particular teams are doing, and hopefully, we bring home a good chunk of change with that. So that'll be kind of the schedule moving forward with that. And then, obviously, during the season, our prime time, 10:30 a.m. Central Time live show. That's always live on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. As always, you can find all of our picks there, and you can always join the Discord for more premium picks. So we will dive in tonight to the AFC North and the NFC North. And when I just threw out these 2 divisions to start it out, and we dove into them, and I'm like, these are going to be some pretty tricky divisions. We'll start with let's go with the AFC North. What are some of the biggest question marks for you in this division?
Yeah, I think this one's going to be tough. Obviously, Cincinnati is the front runner here, but the Baltimore Ravens loaded up offensively. If you're looking at their depth chart, they added Odell Beckham. They drafted Zay Flowers, Nelson Aguilar. So they got some pretty good depth there. And Rashard Bateman's supposed to have a pretty breakout season. It all hinges on whether or not they can stay healthy. Lamar Jackson going down last year. Mark Andrews was banged up a little bit. J.K. Dobbins hasn't been consistently in the lineup. So I think if someone's going to take it from Cincinnati, it would be the Ravens, and this Browns team might be pretty decent too, because they started to click down the stretch with Deshaun Watson finally getting into things, and they added Marquise Goodwin, Elijah Moore. They got rid of Kareem Hunt, so Nick Chubb's going to have a heavy load, which he always does, but that offense is going to click too.
And they added Zadarius Smith with Myles Garrett. So
yeah,
I definitely
division.
Yeah, and then you always got the Steelers. Tomlin has never had a losing or a below 500 season in his 16-year tenure. So you can't rule out the Steelers ever. Their defense is going to continue to be strong. They added a couple of veterans. I think Peterson went there. They're a young team, especially on the offensive side of the football. So the Steelers are I definitely think it's a two-team race with the Browns being the biggest wild card.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Browns competed for the title, but I don't see the Steelers having a chance this year to truly make a run for it. They might upset somebody at home in the division.
Yeah.
That's pretty given there. But yeah, it comes down to the Bengals and the Ravens, and if the Ravens stay healthy, 100% they can win this division. I bet them last year to win the division, and they started off like Super Bowl champs. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is going to be nice. This is going to be good. And injuries happen. I mean, they got hurt left and right. And then the Bengals,
And they were still winning games too.
and they've still won. But yeah, it caught up to them very, very quickly. And then obviously the Bengals, a lot of people are picking them to go to the Super Bowl to win the dang thing this year. Do you think they can do that?
I mean, they're going to be right there. I don't know. I don't know. I got to see how the season unfolds a little bit, but they're definitely a team that can get there. They're a team that can win it. But there's a lot of star-studded teams in this AFC division or conference.
Yeah, the AFC is absolutely loaded. And the Bengals have the fifth lowest odds to win the Super Bowl at plus 1,100. I do think that's very good value for a team that's gone to multiple AFC championships, fresh off of a Super Bowl appearance a couple of years ago against the Rams. I mean, they haven't lost anything. They just re-signed Mixon. I have heard rumblings that maybe Zeke is in their eyesight to sign. I've seen a little bit of rumblings on that. Not sure. Don't call me Adam Schefter on that. But if that would be very interesting if Zeke ends up going there. But they did. What was that? I think it was Orlando Brown that they signed for their offensive line. And that's going to be. I think that's the biggest signing for this division. I know you have OBJ going to the Ravens. I just don't know how dynamic he will end up being in that offense.
And it's the Ravens, they like to just chuck it deep or give it to Andrews. So
right,
that's why I think Bateman is probably going to have a better year than ODB.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is his year to kind of shine a little bit.
Yeah, and then the main thing was keeping Joe Burrow on his on his two legs. So when he was sacked less than 3 times, Joe Burrow is 17-3 in his career. So keep him on his feet. He's absolutely going to win you ball games. And he got sacked too many times last year. It was just horrific to watch again. Thought they addressed those issues. Everybody thought they did. And then you know what? Let's go get one of the best ones in the game and show. So I really think if you're going to take the Bengals plus 1,100, you might as well take them to win the division plus 150. I still think that's pretty good value here for a team that a lot of people are picking to go to the Super Bowl. It's the same damn team that's done it basically, but bits and pieces have been added to be even better. You got Chase, you got Higgins, you got Boyd, Mixon's back. Obviously Burrow. So yeah, I'm down with the Bengals plus 150 here to win this division. It's between them and the Ravens, and I'm just the track record. You have a new offensive coordinator there with Baltimore too. Guy from Georgia,
and Cincinnati's been playing together.
Right.
All those skill guys have been together for the past few years, so they're not going to have to catch up a little bit, kind of like how Lamar is going to have to do with ODB and some of those other guys that they just brought in.
Any other division bets that you like?
I know
you took some division winners. Like how many division wins some guys did last year. Thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I didn't touch it in these divisions just because I think it's a lot of those division games, especially in the AFC North, can go either way.
Exactly.
So I think these are the two divisions where I'm going to stay away from total wins. But I will say I think the way to attack if you're going to bet who's going to win the division, I think you have to do first place, second place. And you
like
could
that.
either do that Bengals 1, Ravens 2, or flip it.
Let's see what that is. AFC North, Bengals, Ravens plus 380. And then if you think it's Bengals and the Browns, if Deshaun Watson is back to form, um, that's the biggest question mark, I think, in fantasy football and actual football. Because Deshaun's going super late, and if you can get him of what he was back in the day, I mean, you're getting a steal. You're not a league winner, because I think the quarterback position is pretty evened out besides those elite guys up front. But man, if you get a solid Deshaun Watson back there, that Brown team can make some noise. But I agree with you. Bengals, Ravens plus 380 is a pretty good 1-2 exact. And the funny thing is, so we did some exact orders bets last year, and I'm looking at the two divisions that we're talking about tonight. The lowest one, Bengals, Ravens, Browns, Steelers, that you would think it would go to, plus 700, because it's so up in the air. Everyone else, you're in the plus 400s and plus 300s. So the two divisions that we got are both plus 700 as their lowest. So that just goes to show that no one really has a clue how these two divisions are going to go. But we got a pretty decent idea. So I do like that exact order of the 1-2 with the Ravens, as long as the Ravens can stay dang healthy.
I mean, it's future bets. So if you're gonna bet them, I feel like the odds need to be a little bit better. So
Right.
I think the 1-2 combo here is the way to go.
Yeah, the plus 380. I like it. So any particular player you're going to target for your redrafts? If there's a particular sleeper in best ball that you're waiting on, if you're doing any kind of type of correlation there, what do you anybody stands out in the AFC North for you?
I mean, I wonder how Marquise Goodwin's going to do with the Browns here. I think he could be a sneaky pick. Same thing with Elijah Moore. So those could be kind of sleeper picks there.
You got DPJ. You got DPJ there.
Yeah.
Joku absolutely came through for
he
a
was
lot
a
of
pretty
people
serviceable
down the road.
Tight end. I'm fading 100% Allen Robinson. I got suckered into drafting him last year, so he can go ahead and just disappear. So
I mean, on paper, this Steelers offense
I know it all hinges on Pickett.
Yeah, but there's just Kenny Pickett there, but Najee is going to be Najee again.
I probably won't touch him either, just because of last year.
And then
so you might be able to get him pretty late, depending on my thing and how I attacked best ball last year. So I won like 2 out of 3 best ball leagues last year. How you got to attack it is ADP.
Yeah.
You find a solid site that has a really good ADP program, and you don't reach, and you draft the guy based on ADP.
Yeah. And I'm 100% doing it on Underdog, unless
I know Underdog is awesome. I played
DraftKings has had some stuff pop up that they incentivize a little bit more. So I might do 1 or 2 more drafts on there, but I'm majority on Underdog.
I played a lot. It was too easy. I was doing drafts like every hour.
Right. Yeah. But I'm with you with A-Rob not being much of a factor here. You still have Deontay, and you got Pickens, and then Freiermuth. So Freiermuth is going to be one of those value tight ends. Once again, he could potentially be top 3 if Pickett absolutely gets after it. Like, I think he could sling it. I think he's going to be a very good quarterback for this team for a long time. But again, it's year 2, and there's going to be more growing pains for this offense. But if you think about it, you could be in some negative game scripts. So it's not a bad idea to target these guys, especially the receivers, when you can get them.
Yeah, there's a lot of upside with Zay Flowers.
Yep.
Coming from BC. It's just that passing attack for the Ravens that I usually stay away from all receivers. The only guy I would touch is Mark Andrews, but like I said, I think Bateman has a pretty good year. It's just my thing, especially so best ball is different, but if you're just in a standardized league, I like guys that are consistent across the board. You know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I don't really like the home run swing, hit or miss. I want points, guaranteed points. So,
Yeah.
that Irv Smith might
I
be
was
interesting
I was
for the
just going there.
Bengals.
Yeah. Just gonna go there. Because he was supposed to be a dude for the
Yeah.
Vikings. A dude.
Well, that's why they traded for Hawkinson.
Yeah. Yeah. I know he got hurt, but I still think Irv's got a lot left in the tank. And you put him in that offense with that quarterback. Whew, yeah, I'm okay with hopping on Irv Smith for if you want to punt the tight end position in redrafts and just say, hey, let's pick up somebody or late in the drafts. I'm good with Irv. But
Is he healthy this year?
Irv?
Yeah.
I think he'd be fine.
Because that was his issue last year, right? He was banged up.
I can't remember. Something with his knee, I thought.
Yeah,
but,
he missed.
Behind him,
he missed like the middle of the season to the end.
Yeah, behind him is like Drew Sample. So I'm like, okay, this is the Irv Smith show.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's Jamar Chase and Higgins, then Boyd.
But they go to tight end a lot too.
They love going to the tight end still. Yeah. Yeah. Uzama and Hurst was there last year. Hurst had some big games. So
we bet them a lot last year. Because
this is going to be a good one to target for DFS, I feel like. I think Irv's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I like that.
In the Bengal stacks.
That's a sneaky pick. Especially since he was hurt last year. I think a lot of people aren't even thinking about him.
Any player props that you're eyeing in this particular division?
Yeah, I got a couple. Let me pull it up real quick. So I think we're getting a good buy on Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson over 5.5 rushing touchdowns. So if we
5.5, I feel like that's too low.
Yeah. So, man,
what's he projected? Let's see.
So his first 3 seasons, he went 5-7-7, and that's when he played 15 games or more. Last 2 seasons, he's played 12 games, and he's had 3-2. So I think that if we get a full season of Lamar Jackson, 5.5, easy money.
New offensive coordinator. That's the wild card too for that team. This is going to be. I'm so glad that offensive coordinator's out because I can't remember who it was. It was can't remember his name off the top of my head. But man, it was just redundant game after game, and then Lamar had to do Lamar things, and I think he's gonna be opened up a little bit more, which is gonna be nice.
Yeah, I got another one. Mark Andrews over 825 receiving yards at plus 100. I really like this one, especially if he can stay healthy. Let's just go down the list. Last year, he had 847. He only played 15 games. Year before that, he had 1,300. Year before that, 700, but he played 14. Year before that, 852, and he only played 15. So, yeah, he's probably going to miss a couple games. The dude's always hurt, but he's the number 1 target. And Baltimore, 825 is a good number for him, plus money.
Yeah.
And then I got one more from this division, and that's Amari Cooper over 6.5 touchdowns.
Cooper, there you go.
I just think that, towards the end of the season, they started to gel, him and Watson. And he ended up with 9 touchdowns, and Jacoby Brissett was slinging it to him half of the season. So you get a better quarterback in there. You get a couple more weapons to kind of take the pressure off. I think 6.5 is super doable. He's hit 9, 8, 5, 8, 7, 7 in his last few years. So he's right there. 6.5 should be a nice hit for him.
I like the Cooper one for sure. He had 9 last year.
Yeah.
It's like
with Brissett.
With Brissett, yeah. And it's like the 6.5 line, really? And I think Deshaun's going to be – I'm more optimistic of Deshaun this year than probably most.
Well, I think part of it, too, is I'm just looking at it now, but he only had 2 touchdown catches with Deshaun. But
Probably. That's good.
he's coming in. They're going to be better this year. They're going to gel a lot better. So I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, and I was looking at the most regular season receiving yards, and I was going to see if Chase was maybe in that 3 or 4 range, but he's right behind Justin Jefferson. So
Yeah.
Jefferson's plus 550, and then it's plus 600 for Chase, and I'm not taking that. He's projected 200 yards below Jefferson, so it's he'd have to make a big jump. And I actually like Tyreek in that one. I think Tyreek has an explosive year.
Yeah.
in that offense, as long as Tua is good, but another year under McDaniel. So, all right,
That's what I mean. I don't see how you pit this conference is loaded.
Yeah, but yeah, that was the only one that I targeted for something like that for Jamar. I just want to see the value there, and there was nothing crazy.
Well, they
I'll
got
piggyback on
they
that
got a
Cooper
couple 1,000-yard receivers on that team
Mhm.
too. So
Yep.
Jefferson, it's going to be him and Hawkinson.
Yep. All right, so that is the AFC North, and if anybody has any follow-up questions for it, send us a DM on Twitter or throw it in the Discord. So we'll get after the NFC North, which is just as wild and crazy. What looks to be a 2-man race as well, but you never know what's up the Bears and the Packers sleeves. We currently have the Lions plus 140 favorites to win the division, which I think is pretty wild. What do you think the Lions can win, or do you think they're a little bit more overvalued?
So last year we were huge on the Lions, and I think a lot of
Yes.
people were sleeping on them. And with the addition of DJ Chark and Amon St. Brown coming back, we were really big on the Lions.
We were big on the Lions and the Bears.
Yeah.
I was in particular, I was a Fields truther whenever he wasn't even playing. I was like, get him on the field.
You were telling everyone to draft him.
Yeah, he's electric. And
Yeah.
everybody that did, I had a couple buddies, and they're like, man, thanks for having me stash him on the bench. Because it's he was going to be elite. It was just a matter of time. Get Andy Dalton out of there. Come on.
Yeah. So, I think they can compete for it for sure. But they have a lot of turnover. So the only guy really returning on the receiving core is Amon. They added Josh Reynolds. They added Marvin Jones, which both guys are really good. Marvin Jones had a really good year last year. I think he has another good year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think, it might even be better to have him than DJ Chark. So I really like the receiving core. But then they
got Jamison Williams too, but he's suspended because
he
was betting.
But they cut all of their running backs, which is weird because you had Swift and you had the guy that was leading the league in touchdowns.
That will never happen again. The amount of 1-yard touchdown runs by Jamal Williams to piss me off last year. That was so ridiculous. We'd say it all the time in Discord or Twitter. We'd be like, all right, we know Williams is going to have 1 to 2 touchdowns, but I'm not betting him. I'm going to bet Swift, and then I would just get screwed every damn time.
And you see him running off the field.
Yeah, he gets it all the way down there, and it's like, why are you not using your best running back? Whatever.
Yeah.
And then they trade him.
Hey.
So
it doesn't make any sense. It's super weird. But they add David Montgomery from Chicago, so we get another little rivalry within the division. And they're we had talked a little bit earlier, and you had said that they're super big on this Gibbs kid.
Huge on him.
Yeah, from Alabama. So a lot of potential with this Lions team, and I love their coach. He gets them fired up. So you could definitely see them winning this one, but I don't think they do.
I really, really think they're overvalued, and I do like what they've done. They added some pieces for that defense because that defense was horrific. But man, I'm just looking at the quarterbacks in this division. It's like I don't want to trust Jared Goff again. I don't for the whole season.
He had a good year last year, though.
But if he plays at home, He's electric, but on
Yeah.
the road, he just cannot get it done. And they have the only thing that's making me not go the Vikings right off the bat is because of the strength of schedule. The Lions have the 11th easiest, while the Vikings have the 8th hardest in the league. But that's always kind of a tricky one to go a true decision off of that, like the hardest schedule, the easiest schedule, anything like that. It's just something another factor to consider. But this Vikings team is going to be the only team that I think truly runs up there and competes with the Lions. Don't get me wrong, I like the Bears. They're plus 400 to win the division. So a lot of people know that I just don't see it currently happening this year. And
The
then
Bears
you
will
have
be fun. The Bears will be super fun to watch.
Yeah, I just know DFS. I'm thinking of DFS down the road, and it's like everyone's going to play Justin Fields like they did at the end of the season.
The
So
guy,
it's
there's no I couldn't find any props on it, but the guy you have to target from this division is Cole Kmet.
oh, see, people were on him early last year. I remember people
Cole
on
Kmet is gonna go off.
Yep.
But
He's
there's no props because I'd play him. I'd play touchdowns. I'd play receptions. That's one thing too. DraftKings doesn't have receptions up yet.
Yeah.
So
They did you see who Komet's backup is? Robert Tonyan from the Packers.
Oh yeah, I did. I was
Yeah,
gonna say
that's
that
pretty
too.
cool.
So
Another
maybe they go a little double tight.
interdivision. Yeah.
A lot of this division's weird. They love that. But
Yeah.
you got another good red zone threat.
Mhm.
But I think both of us are in agreement that the Vikings are the team to beat in this one.
They're projected 8.5 wins too, and I get it that they're the eighth hardest. I know it's juiced a little bit, but man, it's hard not to take that over there. I think
Yeah,
this is a double. I know they lost Dalvin Cook, but that was like on purpose.
right, because Madison's good.
Right,
And
exactly. Madison is literally better than Dalvin Cook.
I almost wanted to take his props, but they're pretty high, and I think they're right. Like I think his rushing yards were set at 900.
How many times did Dalvin Cook get hurt, and then all of a sudden you saw Madison, and you're like, oh,
Right.
that he looks just as good. And then it's like,
Right.
yeah, Dalvin Cook's expendable. And they couldn't find a trade partner. And they just said, all right, well, see you later, bud. You can go hey, you can go to any team that you want and just try to beat us. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think Hawkinson has.
Yep.
He might hit the 1,000 mark this year.
Yeah. He's going to get abused by Cousins.
I don't understand why the Lions let this guy go.
Yeah. I mean, then you have the best overall player, receiver, Justin Jefferson. Then they, instead of getting a defensive player in the draft, they said, hey, let's go get another top tier receiver of Jordan Addison. So it's like, good luck stopping this team. This is going to be a very, very fun team in DFS to stack again. Because Cousins is never very high salary wise, because you got to have him on a good day where he's throwing 3 to 4 touchdowns if you're going to do that. So good game script here with Madison, Jefferson, Addison, and then you also have Osborne with Hawkinson. So I think the plus 195 to win the division is a pretty good bet. And don't get me wrong, the Lions I think are the more sexy team to bet. A lot of people obviously fell in love with this team with being Hard Knocks last year, and then they had success on top of it. So I'm not saying they're America's team, but man, a lot of people love the grit that is Dan Campbell, right? Dan that he puts there. And then what team we have not talked about yet is a team that I don't know if anybody knows what the hell is going to be of, and that is the Green Bay Packers. Currently the same odds as the Bears to win the division, plus 400, which was surprising to me. But I'm kind of optimistic about this team.
No, don't.
Just because their coach.
Don't do it.
I really like him. I really like that coach. And I Love has been there. Don't get me Love has been in the system for as long as LaFleur has been there. So obviously it's going to be a humongous drop off from Aaron Rodgers. But how big of a drop? I mean, how long does it take for Jordan Love to figure it out?
Big drop off.
I know it's a drop off, but man, I know they're super young. The only person that's worth it right now is Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon,
Yeah.
and then you have Watson, Dubs, and you have the Reed kid as well. Those three receivers are either going to be rookies or second years, and with a quarterback that has not played, very very much, it's easy to write this team off. But then again, I'm pretty optimistic for some odd reason. I don't know why.
I'm not.
I think it's the coach.
I think you get exactly what you see here. It's going to be
Just
a
a very
dumpster fire.
young,
I think a lot of teams are going to stack the box, stop that running game.
Oh yeah, Aaron Jones will be the leading receiver on this team for sure.
He's going to have to be.
Yeah, I'm in my fantasy with my keepers. I got Devontae Adams, and then I have Pacheco or AJ Dillon to keep, or Calvin Ridley, and I'm like, oh god, I don't know who to keep, and I'm probably gonna keep Calvin Ridley, which is wild.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it sucks to keep somebody that hasn't played in a year, but that's my best option, I think.
Yeah, Pacheco might be all right though.
Yeah, we'll see. But no, that's my only reason why I think I'm just more optimistic on the potential here. Maybe everyone's just not seeing Jordan Love, not giving him as much love as he should have. How about that? But yeah, both the Bears and the Packers are over 7.5 wins.
I think that's crazy because the Bears loaded up, man.
There's DJ Moore.
They added Claypool last year. They went out and got DJ Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Cole Kmet's going to be a beast. Herbert's finally taken over.
And that defense is once again. Yeah. They got Treyman Edmonds as well from the Bills. I mean, if you wanted to take a shot at the Bears to win the division, I wouldn't slap you.
I think they're a year or two off.
But that's what I'm saying. I just don't think it's this year. And I think
they're going to be a very exciting team to watch.
Yeah, it should be the Vikings year I think so. But who knows with the Lions? You got any particular player props you're looking at this division?
I have one. Just like I said, if I didn't see, I think I saw one Hawkinson prop. I can't remember what it was, but I think it was receiving yards, and it was like 850. I was back and forth on it. Like I said, I think he can get 1,000 yards this year. So I wouldn't be opposed.
Who was that again? Sorry.
Hawkinson.
Oh yeah.
But I really like Cole Kmet whenever they drop that stuff. If it's a good number, I'll hit it because I think he's gonna. I mean, he's the red zone guy. Yeah. He's the familiar target. And we saw Fields go to him quite a bit last year. So I really like him in that spot. But the prop that I like the best is Fields over 6.5 rushing touchdowns at -110.
Yeah.
He had 8 last year and over 1,000 yards rushing.
Yeah, so, those are some big games though.
Yeah.
I think
they like to run them in the red zone. So
yeah.
especially when they get closer to that goal line. So I think 6.5 is a good mark. It's probably right.
Yeah.
He either gets 6 or he gets 7.
Yeah, and I also think that running game. So Foreman and Herbert. I think Herbert is a very good piece to get in drafts because they loved him last year. Yeah. And you don't go away with David Montgomery unless you love somebody. And Herbert was better than Montgomery some games, I think. And I think if you can get him in an offense that can move the football and a defense that can turn the ball over a ton in goal line situations, I like Herbert for sure this year.
How do you feel about Moore?
Man, I'm always a little bit – it's just I've had him on my team a couple years, and he just always throws duds when he shouldn't. I just don't know how much more consistent Justin Fields can be with that guy. That's my only concern. Is can he put up the production every single week?
His touchdown prop is super low.
Yeah, he's just a
But
guy
he's
that gets
not
a
a
bunch of
touchdown
receptions.
guy.
Yeah.
But last year he had 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I would go under. I think that was more. I know he caught that one to remember that bomb that he caught with
Yeah.
the game winner or whatever it was. I mean, he had some positive regression in that form, I think, and I don't think it translates to Justin Fields because what's Fields want to do? He wants to get out of the pocket and go.
Right. I don't
But
know if I would take under,
yeah,
but I definitely wouldn't take over because it's low. It's like 4.5.
yeah. I'm looking at most regular season passing touchdowns, and this is like throw sprinkle money on it. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I'm saying it's not a bad bet to make. That losing Dalvin Cook, and I know Madison's just as good, but if they pass a little bit more for an offense that's going to very, very put up a good amount of points, and if Kirk Cousins finds a way, plus 1,900 to lead the league in touchdown passes, I don't think that's
Ooh.
far off. I don't think it's far off. It's probably very unlikely to happen, but I don't think it's far off. And I'm looking at projections. He's projected top 5 in the league at 30. He's at right at 30 passing touchdowns. Mahomes is up at 37. Somehow, some way, can he figure out how to get 7 more than Patrick Mahomes? Probably not, but with that offense, you have a lot of pieces out there. Losing Dalvin Cook, maybe the offensive coordinator wants to go a little bit pass heavy in the red zone. Worth a shot.
Where do you draft Kirk Cousins then?
Oh, he's gonna be late. You only draft him late.
Yeah, but do you okay, so for example, my projections have him going after Tua.
Mm-hmm. That's probably in that tier. Yeah, he's QB 11 in my ranks right there. And I mean, you're getting a bunch of touchdown passes down there. He's in that Cousins, Smith, Prescott range right there, and Tua
Prescott,
right there.
Man, that dude fell
off. Exactly. He's supposed to be the next freaking big thing, and didn't
I'm
happen.
getting
But
ahead
yeah,
of myself a little bit, but
Danny
Dimes.
Oh gosh. Oh
Danny
yeah.
Dimes.
We will get to that division for sure. All right. So yeah, if you guys have any other player props you guys are on, just wanted to throw that long shot there at the end for everybody. Not a bad idea to throw. I know it's Kirk Cousins, and I know that Netflix quarterback. Have you seen that yet? The Netflix show?
I have not.
Oh,
I've seen like clips of it.
It's going to make you not want to. It's going to make you not want to make that bet because you just know who Kirk Cousins is. It's just like, oh, he couldn't do it. There's no way.
All I've seen is just Patrick Mahomes likes to swear a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, all right, we'll be posting this on Spotify, YouTube. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button on YouTube if you guys watch it. If you guys have any additional questions, join the Discord below, and we'll get up on out of here. We will go through 2 more divisions next Monday night, which will be posted on Tuesday. But yeah, we'll get up out of here. Appreciate you guys listening.